Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Play Action Podcast. It's Brennan and Brock. We're here with episode 2, season 2 of the Play Action Podcast. And we got some topics as the season is approaching us very quickly. And I'm talking this weekend.
This weekend.
We get some games.
4 days.
Yeah, 4 days?
4 days.
4 days. We'll be posting this tomorrow. So 3 days from when you're seeing this. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, it's been a long time waiting to get some football. So, to get some games this weekend's very exciting. I know USC plays, Notre Dame plays. Those are the two
main ones.
Yeah, the two main ones, 2 ranked teams that are playing this weekend. But, it's just good to have some football this weekend. So, man, I'm excited. But some topics we got today. What do we got, Brock?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about, I think, specifically some teams that have the potential to have really big seasons. And I think the first one I really want to talk about is Penn State.
Penn State.
I think Penn State is a true wild card this year.
They are. There's a lot of wild card teams this year, yeah. I feel like
Penn State could be a playoff team.
Yeah.
Really.
They really, I mean, they have the potential to. They got to get in that 3-way tiebreaker.
Yeah, they got
they got to find a way to sneak in there. And, it's about beating one of those teams.
Got to beat Ohio State.
Got to beat Ohio State.
Got to beat Michigan. Got to beat one of them.
Got to beat one of them, getting that 3-way tiebreaker. And from there, it's just kind of, that division is so tough, man.
Yeah.
That division is so difficult. And, I think that if they can sneak away with one of those wins, it could really mix things up in the Big Ten.
Yeah. And, they got this new trio. Of, talented kids. They got Drew Allaire taking over for Sean Clifford.
The QB.
Yep. Who's been playing. Well, Sean Clifford's been playing at Penn State for the last 10 years. It feels like.
give or take.
So
10 years.
They're going to have a new QB for the first time in what seems like forever.
And then the running back duo.
Can't say enough good things about them.
I know. We watched them absolutely, take over that Utah team in the Rose Bowl live in person. So we know what they're about. And so I think Penn State's going to be a really fun team and sneaky team to watch this year.
Yeah. Those 2 running backs are the heart and soul of their team. It's going to be Katron Allen. It's going to be Nick Singleton.
Yeah.
Those are going to be the guys. They're going to run the ball a million times. They're just going to give it back and forth to both of them. Let them do their thing.
Are they gonna have the defense to be able to slow down an offense like Ohio State?
They got talent. They got talent on the team.
Yeah.
They obviously lose Joey Porter Jr. to the draft, but they replace him with Kalen King, who's just as talented at corner. Chop Robinson's going to be on the edge. Potential first-round draft pick. I think he will be. A lot of talent for the kid. And, then they have the sophomore standout, Abdul Carter. The number 11 tradition at Penn State?
No, I don't know that.
Their best defensive player always wears number 11.
Really?
So Micah Parson wore number 11.
Interesting.
A lot of Penn State greats.
I didn't know that. I probably should know that, but I didn't know that. That's interesting.
So Abdul Carter is that guy.
Yeah, he's that guy.
11. He's number 11 on that defense.
There he is. He's that guy this year.
Yeah, I think Penn State is it's really exciting for them, because they're going to be really talented this year. They got all the pieces to contend. It's just going to, it's going to depend on.
It's going to come down to, can you win one of those 2 football games and obviously take care of the rest of the games this year?
Absolutely. So it'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting
to see how it goes.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. We still want to talk about Penn State, or is this the year that Texas is back?
This is just a yearly topic.
This is a yearly topic, and it never seems to be on the upside as far as.
Welcome back to the year 2036. Yeah. Is Texas going to be back this year, you think?
Was Texas ever there in the first place? That's what it's going to turn into.
So, but yeah, this is the year. I feel
they got a lot of talent.
This is their best chance. Big 12 is going to be not as great.
Yeah.
I don't think. Every team will still be competitive, but
yeah,
I feel like there's really not a true runaway team at the top.
Mm-hmm. Especially with kind of how Oklahoma was last year.
Yeah.
They weren't as dominant as they've been in the past, or as scary. So yeah, I think Texas right now is at the top.
Yeah, and TCU obviously got a lot worse.
Yeah.
Lost their whole team.
Same with Kansas State. I mean, they didn't lose everybody.
Yeah.
But I mean, they lost a lot, and obviously they're coming off the Big 12 championship.
Yeah. They don't return running back Deuce Vaughn
Yep.
went to the NFL. So Kansas State is definitely going to be probably one of the teams contending. But,
What makes you think that they might be back?
It starts with quarterback play.
Yep.
It's the most important position on the field. No one can argue that. Quinn Ewers, there was moments last year when I was like, this kid's legit.
Yeah.
And that Alabama game, they looked unstoppable.
Yeah.
Until he, unfortunately got hurt. So, I think Quinn Ewers is the heart and soul of that football team. I think when Quinn Ewers goes, Texas is going to go.
Yeah.
It's tough because they have to replace Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
And that's not really going to be an easy task because he was a generational running back prospect. And you don't just find a new running back to replace somebody like that.
Yeah, no way.
So they're going to have to do that. But, they got a lot of good transfers. Mainly A.D. Johnson from Georgia comes over, joins that wide receiver room with Xavier Worthy and Jordan Whittington. So they're going to be really good on offense. I think it's just going to come down to the defense.
It's interesting to see, someone transferring from a team that just won back-to-back natties.
It's almost like you just get sick of the winning.
Yeah, you're just tired. You're just like, I want some competition. I want this to be difficult.
Yeah, he wants a new challenge.
Yeah.
So
the challenge, he's definitely got a challenge, the way that Texas has performed these last few years. So, but that's really interesting.
But I think what comes back to the topic of Texas being back is what do you think they have to be for them to be back?
Probably national championship contenders, I would say.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
It's winning the Big 12 would be a big step up for them, but
that's kind of the standard that we expect them
absolutely
to perform at, especially if they're making a jump to the SEC. It's like if you're underperforming in the Big 12, do you deserve to be in the SEC?
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting too because we saw Texas A&M and Missouri jump from the Big 12 to the SEC,
mm-hmm.
and they both had early success in the SEC.
Yeah,
but they haven't had success recently.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's just been getting more competitive.
I think Missouri went to back-to-back SEC championship games.
Really?
Yeah. So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Texas performs this year. We'll be throwing out our schedule predictions. And we'll probably come up with videos on that as well.
Yeah.
Probably have segments on we'll talk about at least top 15 teams. We'll do like a schedule prediction, throw it on Twitter, we'll throw it on Instagram, we'll throw it on everything. You guys will see if you agree with us as far as how those teams are going to be performing this year. But yeah, let's talk about. Are we talking about the games this weekend?
Yeah, I think we
Week
should
zero?
talk about these week 0 games.
Week 0?
Talking about football again.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
amazing.
Oh my gosh, this is great.
No more rankings, no more predictions.
We just get to enjoy it in the moment.
Straight football games.
So we got Navy at number 13 Notre Dame.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is the Ireland game.
Oh,
Remember-
yeah.
Do you remember last year
Yeah.
when Northwestern Nebraska
Oh,
just
yeah.
randomly played in Ireland?
Yeah, it was so random.
Just like, why not?
yeah.
And it was funny too because I think Northwestern won that game. And it was like they went 0-11 in America,
yeah.
but they went 1-0
That is bizarre.
in Europe. So
That's crazy.
yeah, I think that's what this game is this year.
Yeah, Notre Dame they have a lot of potential. I've heard of some potential playoff hype for this team.
Yeah.
They're kind of one of those little sneaky outsider bubble teams that, they could do either great, like the floors or the ceiling's really high, and the floor is kind of in that mid range.
Well, they have, our favorite quarterback.
Yeah, Sam Hartman.
The Play Action Pod's favorite quarterback.
Yeah, Sam Hartman, transfer in there from Wake Forest. And yeah, he played phenomenal last year, I thought.
Yeah.
I think he's a great quarterback. I think coming back for his super senior season. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
super seniors, COVID senior, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, 6 college season, super COVID season.
So, Sam Hartman single-handedly made, I feel like Wake Forest, relevant.
Yeah.
He was a really big part of what they did last year at Wake Forest. So
Put up a great fight against Clemson in a double overtime game.
Oh, that was a thriller, wasn't it?
That was a thriller.
It was like the 52-45
Something
game.
like that. Yeah, it just seemed like whoever was going to not score was going to lose that game.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Sam Hartman transfers over to Notre Dame. Saw recently that he bought his whole team headphones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got a partnership with I think it's Bose.
Really?
So got the Ultimate headphones.
Yeah,
so.
he's already got that. He's already got some synchronization going on there. Some team chemistry.
Already getting the team dialed in.
There you go.
So, but yeah, Sam Hartman for Notre Dame is huge.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they didn't really do a lot of great things on offense last year, but they got the QB now.
Yeah.
So
it'd be interesting to see, obviously have to replace Michael Mayer.
Yep.
And but yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see, how this offense performs without him and then a new quarterback coming in who I think is better.
No, yeah.
Than Drew Pine.
You get a huge upgrade at QB and you got to obviously figure out how to use him. You got to have talent around him, at the wide receiver position, the running back position. So it'll be interesting to see what they look like on offense. I feel like for the most part, Notre Dame's a good defense team.
Yeah. I
feel like they don't really get blown out or give up too many points. But
yeah, I'd like to see some success from Marcus Freeman after, a somewhat disappointing first year last year. Lost to Marshall, didn't do anything too crazy.
Well, Notre Dame was that team that they really struggled at the start of the season and then really picked it up towards the end of the season,
and then just lost to USC.
Yeah. So, but
I got them winning this game.
Yeah, I got them beating Navy too.
Yeah.
Navy's fun though.
Europe in the US, either you or Europe in the US. I got Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But what about Navy?
Navy's a fun team. They run that triple option.
Yeah.
They don't pass the ball.
Yeah.
They're one of those, just run only teams. So, but yeah, I got Notre Dame on European soil.
Just excited to get back to some football, dude. It's exciting. And then the second ranked matchup would be that San Jose State at USC. Get to see, Caleb Williams returning from the Heisman. Disappointing finish their season, finishing with back-to-back losses to Utah and then Tulane.
Yeah.
So we'll see if, they can bounce back and start a potential, playoff run this year.
So do you think it's like FUCK and then like SJSU or?
Oh, yeah. Well,
how do you think that works?
Maybe it goes onto the toes. Maybe it goes on.
Yeah. Maybe up top it's the curse word and then on bottom it's the
San Jose.
Because you have 7 letters. You got 12 letters in San Jose State.
Yeah, we'll have to see. So, maybe he'll retire from that after
maybe
kind of how it panned out for him after painting his fingernails.
I think I did see something that he's like, yeah, I'm going to stop doing that.
That's a good idea.
And I was like, yeah,
that's probably smart.
So,
but yeah, number 4 transfer class, big off season for the USC Trojans. It's weird saying off season and pertaining it to college sports.
Yep.
Because that's just a thing, with the transfer portal.
Wait till trades are a thing.
Oh my gosh.
Because that's we got free agency right now.
Wait until there's like salary caps and free agency and oh my gosh, the transition of this sport is crazy.
But so obviously you got the boy Caleb Williams coming back,
best quarterback in the country
by far. Yeah,
by far. I
think like Drake May's up there too, but I think it's Caleb Williams, and I don't think there's anybody up there with him.
And the tough argument there is, Drake May, he doesn't have much. He doesn't have the talent surrounding him like Caleb Williams does.
Yeah.
That wide receiver class is unbelievable.
Yeah.
That Caleb has to work with, and as it was last year.
Well, just imagine, having Jordan Addison for a year coming over from Pitt. Then he goes to the NFL first round pick. Then you just replace him with Dorian Singer.
Yeah.
From Arizona, who's, in my opinion, I think he's probably a downgrade, but he's still a very, very talented wide receiver.
Extremely talented, yeah.
So then, you got Mario Williams coming back for another season. You got Brendan Rice as well.
Yeah. Opens
up to be a very good, wide receiver room.
Yeah, we know what this USC offense can do. The only question marks are on the defensive side. So, are these guys learn how to tackle this offseason because, they struggled against Utah and Tulane. And I think one of those, one of the keys to success this season is if they can, be able to defend on the other side of the ball.
If they can hold teams to under 20 points or 25 points.
Oh, yeah.
They'd be my national championship favorite.
Even 30. I feel like this USC team is similar to Ohio State, where they can very well score 40, 50 points every single game, no matter who they play.
And, the possibilities are endless when you have Lincoln Riley calling plays.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams throwing your ball.
Yeah.
But their big problem is they couldn't keep other teams off the scoreboard.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
and obviously that the momentum carries onto the offensive side for the opposing team, and then the fatigue factors into play for the offense
absolutely.
for USC, making it more difficult. So we saw them struggle with that last year. We'll see if they can make some adjustments this year. But for this first game, I have USC winning this one.
Yeah, I think USC will probably be the team that I pick for most games this season. I just think when you're so talented at the quarterback position, it gives you a chance to ultimately be competitive in every other game. But the fact that they have the talent on offense paired with hopefully some better pieces on defense, I think they're going to be the favorite in the majority of their games.
Yeah.
So I'm also going to go USC here. I think that they'll hopefully give us a show.
Yeah. Even with how competitive the Pac-12 this year, it's crazy that that they are the favorites.
Yeah, it's until I see that defense really get picked apart like they were last year, they're probably going to be my favorite. I think when you talk Pac-12 and you talk all around best team right now, it's probably Oregon, in my opinion. But if you talk, best potential, I think it's USC.
Really?
I think if I had to pick a team to win the national championship this year from the Pac-12, it would be USC. But if I had to pick the team to win the Pac-12 right now, based on how great their team is right now,
I would say Oregon. Oregon?
Yeah.
I would say Washington.
See, Washington's a weird one for me. Penix is amazing. And
Joel Klatt has talked very high on Michael Penix. He has him as number 2 favorite for the Heisman.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm that high on Penix, but
yeah.
I don't know. Washington's an interesting team too. Utah's an interesting team too. They got injury problems though, so just depends on when they get healthy. But
there's 5-6 teams that have a legitimate chance to win the Pac-12 this year.
DJ Uiagalelei just announced starter for Oregon State today.
Yep.
So, they're going to be tough up there in Corvallis.
Yeah, and with Damian Martinez, freshman of the year, and obviously that run game is going to open up some big things for DJ to be able to go out there and showcase his skills, because I think he's a much better player than people make him out to be. I think that him at Clemson wasn't showing his full potential.
Well, absolutely, and I think Oregon State's going to have a bone to pick.
Yeah,
everybody's leaving them.
Yeah.
So imagine they go out and win the last Pac-12 championship game.
Yeah,
that would be
they definitely they got something to prove. So Pac-12 exciting stuff this year. I mean, obviously, as pretty much it's extinct after this year. So, anyways, let's finish up with this last topic. Enough with the games. Should there be no rankings into the college football rankings? I know me and Brock, we've discussed this very briefly, but I want to hear your opinion on why. Do you think there should or?
Well, yeah. So this actually I hadn't really thought about this too much until I was seeing it on Twitter and people were talking about it. And I can't remember what fan base it was, but one fan base brought out how much this affects their team going into the season. And it started like this kind of snowball effect for me, and how much it actually really does affect teams. If you really
as a confidence, or
not even a confidence, but just a resume thing.
Okay.
It's look at it this way. You got Texas A&M was a surprising inclusion in the top 25.
Yeah.
Texas A&M, for every team that plays Texas A&M and beats Texas A&M while they're ranked, it's a resume booster.
Yeah.
So should Alabama play a ranked Texas A&M at 2-0 or 3-0, hypothetically, that's a resume booster for Alabama.
Yeah.
And I was really kind of trying to get behind it, and the more and more I thought about it, the more and more I agreed with it.
Yeah.
Because it's that's all this really is. Nobody knows how good these top 25 teams are.
I mean, you can only base it off how they played last year and who they're bringing in, who they lost, et cetera, et cetera. It's all prediction based.
It's a straight projection. That's all it is.
And I wonder if, maybe ratings has something to do with it as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, I mean, it's if did Florida make their way in?
They did not.
They did not. But, say Utah opening up with Florida, if that's a ranked matchup, Yeah, I think it draws more eyes to the TV.
Well, which is more entertaining? Would you rather watch a USC team play Notre Dame, or would you rather watch number 5 USC play number 7 Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a much more interesting matchup for TVs to sell.
Mm-hmm.
So it's strictly TV based, but it's really interesting looking back, say 8 or 9 weeks, or I guess looking forward 8 or 9 weeks down the line. There's going to be those arguments. It's going to be, LSU beat number 8 Florida State at the time, where it's like, we knew Florida State and LSU are both good teams.
Yeah.
But they get that early benefit of a top 10 win.
Top 10 win, yeah.
When both those teams have not played football.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting topic,
It is, but I think that those are both top 10 wins. So think about it on the flip side, say if they're both unranked. Say no one's ranked until they go into week 2 after week 1, after their first games. And say LSU goes out and beats Florida State. Florida State ends up being a top 10 team by 7th week because that's their only loss in the season.
Mm.
LSU deserves to be credited a top 10 win.
No, yeah, and I agree. And I think that's what the college football rankings do so well.
Yeah.
It's like if Florida State is per se, 8-1, 7-1, whatever it is, when those college football playoff rankings come out, LSU is going to get credited with a really good win.
Yeah.
But it's like for I guess AP reasons, should LSU, blow out, for example, let's say they blow out Florida State, you could argue that LSU is a top 3, top 2 team in the AP the next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just interesting because then when the college football playoff rankings come out, say LSU's undefeated till then, it's like, well, they're undefeated and they have a blowout win over Florida State week 1.
Yeah.
That's the number 1 team in the country right now. So it's like,
it's very controversial. It's very interesting. I would actually love to hear everyone else's take on this. Do you think that there should be, an AP preseason ranking, or do you think they should wait until a first game is played? Drop your comments.
No, yeah. I'd love to hear other people's opinions because I've actually heard a lot of really good opinions about it. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a lot of good points to it because if you think about it, a lot of teams have a really big leg up going into the season over teams who aren't ranked.
Yep.
And it also brings up the point of big brand bias. Like Texas hasn't been good for the last decade.
Mm-hmm.
They're ranked as number 11 going into the season. I'm not saying it's not deserved, but I'm saying if Texas finishes like 8-4 or 9-3, were they deserving of a number 11 ranking going into the season?
Yep.
Like they are almost every season.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting concept. It's something I saw on Twitter and was really interested in.
Yeah.
And I would love to hear what other people have to say about it. But
yeah, I agree. And do we want to cover on Jim Harbaugh before we wrap things up?
No, yeah.
Yeah,
Talk
Jim
about
Harbaugh.
suspension.
Yeah, obviously a suspension. I don't know the context or what exactly happened. I know that it was COVID related. So I'm assuming that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah. So during COVID guidelines, there was a dead period for recruiting, I believe. And I believe he took a recruit out to lunch or something like that.
Yeah, I saw something that was like he got a 3-game suspension over a hamburger or something.
Yeah, he
that's crazy.
Or maybe so maybe it wasn't during the dead period, but maybe he took a player out to lunch and paid for his lunch, and that's a big NCAA violation, which is just stupid.
Yeah,
we can make a whole 10-part or 10-episode series about how dumb the NCAA is.
Yeah, there's a lot of rules. Yeah,
but yeah, it sounds like in July they decided to push that suspension back to 2024.
Did
so? Yeah, or that's just what is being expected
from the NCAA. Or?
The expectation is that the suspension from the NCAA isn't going to come until 2024.
Well, this is what I read is that when there's a rule violation like that, it is supposed to be self-inflicted by the school.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
And then the NCAA evaluates at that point to see if it was a cruel enough punishment. And if they were like, okay, that was cruel enough, say they're like 3 games this year, that's good enough, then we won't impose any more punishments going into the next season. So I think it's smart on Michigan's end, for the urgency of, let's get let's get out of the way this year when the non-conference schedule is a lot softer compared to next year when they have Texas week 2.
Interesting. Yeah. No, I did not know that.
Yeah, neither did I. I was talking about it yesterday, and then I read about it. So
Yeah, because I read that a likely suspension from the NCAA wasn't coming until 2024.
yeah,
So that makes sense though.
yeah,
Put the suspension on this year, then the NCAA is like, okay, we'll leave it at that. Because obviously, like you mentioned, they have that huge matchup with Texas next year.
And I mean, this year it's just kind of like a little more cupcake.
Yeah.
So
well, it's been cupcake for Michigan.
Yeah, yeah, big cupcake. So yeah, I think that's gonna wrap things up. Episode 2, season 2. Football games this weekend. We'll be putting these out, throwing up some shorts. Brock's been really active on Twitter, so if you want to follow, see our graphics on there. Also Instagram, TikTok, everything. You'll find us everywhere at the Play Action Pod. And we'll see you guys next week with another episode.